What's up? It's your girl Kiwan. I am back with Tyler Perry's Sisters, Season 8, Episode 9, Missing Pieces. First of all, let me tell y'all, I had to start this video over because my mic went out. Yeah. Also, can y'all do me a huge favor? Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell button to be informed on any video that I drop. Alright, y'all, let's start this episode. So, y'all, the episode picks back up with Jordan asking Penelope if she came to the hospital. I want to say to hurt Gary. Jordan asked Penelope again, why are you at the hospital? You know how the Tyler Perry do that back and forth banter. That aggravates me. Jordan tells her to she knows how she feels. He knows how she feels about wanting some type of revenge just based on how Gary treated her and what happened with the baby and all of that. And so Penelope says that she cannot remember a lot of things and that she's actually blacking out. And so Jordan says it could be a trauma response or it can be some sort of PTSD. So she says that the blackouts actually started when she lost the baby. And then we get the theme song. My girls will be down. So y'all, in the next scene, Fatima teaches Andy how to fight. And I was like, no ma'am. Andy looked like she auditioning for the Power Rangers. The pink one to be exact. So we know Fatima have her work cut out for her because Andy cannot fight at all. I want to say they used, I don't know, I thought one of the girls used to fight for her back in school. Child, I don't know. But Hayden and his friend are talking, and Hayden's friend is just as creepy as him. And so Zach is lurking around the building, listening in on a conversation, and he hears Hayden discuss how Tamara was sleeping with Gary. And so he hears that, and then he leaves, of course. So then the friend was like, well, what happened to the dude? And Hayden was like, well, he can't say nothing because he in the hospital. So you try to make it seem like you put Gary in the hospital. Please. So in the next scene, Sabrina is checking the status on her lab work. Maurice is ear hustling as usual, and he was like, he walked in her office and said, so I'm just gonna miss out on my hot boy summer. Maurice want to be at the summertime fest. Sabrina was like, you've never been to the summertime fest? Maurice was like, I want to go. And so Maurice was like, I don't want to hear about no deviled eggs. I don't want to hear about no sperm. Maurice basically just wants his friend back and not Kiki Wyatt. And I was like, oh Lord, no. So then he asked to double date with Sabrina and Rich. And Sabrina says she'll call Rich to see if he agreed. So in the next scene, we see Karen and Pam. They're talking to Aaron, updating him on the business plan and what Miss Marie was telling him about the business, and how also lets him know that Sabrina has looked at their business plan and helped them out with it because what's his name, Aaron, asked if he can look at it. Well, he asked if he can assist with it, but they say they had it handled. So then a customer walks in and asks about the unruly scamming lady. I mean, the rudely scamming lady. And so Pam sent the customer to go get her hair washed, and Aaron was like, well, what's going on? What was that about? So, and then we go to the next scene. Dani and Dani's co-worker congratulates her in getting into the program. And And he tells her that he finds it odd that she got into the program and he did not. He then begins to compare, the difference in their work ethic and the qualifications, and he felt like he should have been in a program and not her. And his name is Leonard. So Leonard said he heard that one of the VPs pulled some strings to get her into the program, and so he tells her disrespectfully that she used her bottom to get to the top. And I was like, oh wow. So y'all, we back at the hospital, and Hudson at this point thinks Gary is lying and playing about his memory loss. Gary was like, do I know you? Are you my friend? And y'all, I really don't trust it. I don't trust it. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't. I can't, I don't. So Hudson is telling Gary, stop the act. Everybody's gone. You don't have to act like that. So in the next scene, Penelope says she was grieving, telling Jordan that she was grieving after she lost the baby. She went into depression and she couldn't sleep, so she had a lot of insomnia. So Agent Watt took her to a doctor under another name, and this doctor prescribed her some strong sleeping pills. Jordan asked if the pills caused her to go into a rage and as a result of unaliving Gary. But Penelope says she doesn't remember. Penelope says that she left the witness protection program and she was able to follow Gary to the wedding, and then somehow she blacked out. Like, she was able to take herself out of witness protection, which I really don't know how witness protection worked, but I didn't think it worked like that, but I guess. So Jordan says, do you remember how I found you? She was like, no. He said she was incoherent and she had blood on her hand. And so now she actually thinks that she tried to unalive Gary, but she really don't remember. So she's freaking out. She's freaking out. And so she gets a message on her phone, and Agent Watt is asking her to come see him, and if not, I'm gonna come look for you. And y'all, I cannot stand that little man. But Jordan tells her that he has a plan. So back at Andy's place, Fatima's still teaching Andy how to fight. Whatever. Andy gets a phone call from Jordan asking for her help. And y'all, the way I would have hung that phone up so fast and told him to please get out of my face. I'm sorry. I'm not helping you. So, Fatima then reminds her now they need your help after the accusations they made between you and Gary. First of all, how Penelope came and disrespected you in your house and she put her hands on you. So Fatima was like, you want me to stay because, I could throw some hands. And it was like, no. She was like, you sure? Because y'all know Tima be ready to book at any time, especially behind Andy. So y'all, back at the airport, Danny and Leonard are still arguing. They're in the middle of the floor. They're customers, other employees. You can't see them, but you know that they're there. So Tony runs over there to break them up, asking, hey, what is the problem? So then Leonard tells Tony, ask your girlfriend what's the problem. And so Tony pipes up and then starts to threaten him with his job. And it was just like, that makes you look even more guilty. Because, yeah, he probably was unprofessional, but you've been extremely unprofessional. And he did not lie. So, I don't like Tony. But it was just like Leonard said, people are talking. People are talking. You can see it. Like, you like in the last week episode, I think last week and the week before last, you see people looking and talking. He's too close to her. Like, it's so unprofessional. You can really see it. So Tony then, Leonard left. Tony says to Danny that they've been too open with the PDA, and Danny was like, no, you've been open with the PDA. And I just feel like they're playing a dangerous game. Y'all, my mama told me that you ain't supposed to get your money and your honey in the same place. Child, I tried that. It don't it don't work. Anyway, y'all, Zach calls Fatima and tell her, hey, it's a lot of stuff, something I found out about. You wouldn't believe what I found out on Hayden, but he was like, I'll talk to you later about it. He asked her if it was okay if he can stop by the shop to see Karen and the unborn fetuses. And Fatima was like, yeah, you can. I trust you, but it's her I don't. Child, it's his feelings that you need to be questioning, but it is what it is. So we're back at the salon, and Aaron is asking what happened with the scamming customer. He's also asking why is he just now hearing about it. And he wants to be, moving forward, he wants to be informed about Roots to Riches. So Pam did say, well, aren't you a silent partner? And he was like, I put a lot of money into this, so I deserve to know. And yeah, if I give you $1 to invest in your business, I want to know what's going on. Okay, I'm not gonna be silent, but you're not gonna keep me out of the loop after I gave you my money. Anyway, Aaron is asking Karen if he can also still be in the know about the baby. And then Zach walked, and she was like, yeah, Karen said, yeah, that's fine, I'll always keep you in the know. Then she feel one baby kick, just one. That could, I don't know. So Zach walks in, and he's seeing Aaron, hands on Karen's stomach, and they're laughing. And the look that he gave was quite jealous, if you ask me. But nobody's asking me. But to me, I feel like, he's still not, he might be over Karen, but he's still mad about him having to share a baby with Aaron, because we know that he really don't like Aaron. He's just going along to get along. So back at the office, Robin stops Hayden and asks to speak with him in a conference room. And so Robin is like, hey, I hear that you gone around talking about Andy. Well, she's not here. Hayden tries to lie about it, and Robin was like, you need to squash all of that. While you at it, you really need to start being nicer to Fatima. And Hayden was like, okay. And it's kind of odd that when a man approaches Hayden, he act like he have some sense. He acts like he have a whole lot of sense in that he knows how to comply. But I guess when it's your money that's on the line, I'm going to comply. However, when it comes to women, he talks to these women crazy, which is so insane to me. I just don't like Hayden. I think he's an example of a F-boy through and through. Anyway, so Sabrina, Rich, Maurice, and his dude are all on a double date. The dude is asking Rich, about the juice bar. Rich was like, we're doing good. Maurice stops that. He then asks about him and Sabrina having a baby, and Maurice cuts that off. So it's basically, Maurice don't want to hear about sperms, babies, nothing. So Rich asked if he likes sports. So the guy was like, yeah, I like sports. I'm a basketball fan. So they get into this little debate about basketball. It was a good little debate. And then Maurice stops that conversation and is aggravated. And I'm like, Maurice, what do you want? Like, sometimes I really like Maurice, but there are other times where Maurice aggravates the heck out of me. Anyway, Jordan and Penelope shows up at Andy's apartment. And, of course, Penelope still being an a-hole after y'all asked me for my help. And so he had the nerve to ask Andy to represent Penelope while she have to go down the station and talk to Detective Watt. And I was like, why would you ask her that? Like, you know, first of all, you know she is a suspect. She's not even practicing law at the moment because of an open case. And not only that, she ain't no criminal attorney. She's actually a divorce attorney. It's like Penelope wants Andy to prove herself to her. That lady don't owe you nothing. And I feel like they're trying to guilt her into doing something that she just cannot do. Like, then she even offered, like, I'm sorry, we gonna get there. I'm just getting aggravated with them and Penelope's attitude. It is terrible. So Hudson finds the doctor, talks to him about Gary's memory loss, and the doctor tells Hudson that Gary could have retrograde amnesia. And so Tamara wants to know if Gary would recognize her. And Hudson was like, no. And so she left. She was just annoying. This whole scene, like, the little time she was on there, she getting on my nerves. So Hudson comes back to the room to find to find Gary gone. And so he hurry up and runs out of the room. And then we get back to Andy's apartment, and Andy is telling Penelope that she cannot help them. However, she can recommend them a lawyer, and that he can do pro bono services for them. And we find out that Gary took all of her money, took all of Penelope's money, so she has nothing. She has zero. So Andy did offer that, and it still wasn't enough. So Penelope was like, I don't need your help, just spazzing out. And then she left. I was like, it is odd, the entitlement that Penelope feels like she has, and like she feels like Andy owes her something. Andy don't owe you anything. You're really mad at Gary, but you're taking it out on Andy. Anyway, I will agree about this. All of this could have been avoided if Andy would have said something. You know, we know Gary's crazy, but Andy could have said something. But it is what it is. So then they leave, and then a few minutes later, Gary is coming into the penthouse with his nightgown, with his hospital gown on, and his ass out. And I was like, I'm thoroughly confused. Like, I feel like I have retrograde amnesia, okay? Because, sir, you mean to tell me you don't know nothing else, but you somehow remember where Andy lives, and she's the only one you remember? When I tell you this ninja is lying, I cannot. And this is aggravating, but this is where the episode ends. Tyler, you stress me out. Okay? I'm gone. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.